So in the last video we ended up having something that hello guys, welcome back. So this is the fourth or the fifth tutorial. So if you've not, then please subscribe. So let us get into it. So in the last video I told you that we'll be building mutations in this video, so let us get into it directly. So our mutations will basically exist inside our schema. So while this is query, then we want to create a mutation to create product. So I'll do that over here. So I'll just say class, let's call it what, create product, and then it's just of type it extends from graphene.mutation, so it's graphene.mutation. Another thing now is you may want to define what you want to be returned whenever this is created. So for me, I'll just say I'll be returning product whenever a product is created. So, and I know that I don't need to have the ID part because it will be just returning the product that was created. So another thing is you might want to show user success or false. So I'll do that very fast because I think you know Boolean types. So the reason I'm making the error to be string is because sometimes you might want to return an error message. So error can either be null or can contain a string. So if it has a string, it means that the error occurred. If it's null, then no error occurred. So I think that is good. So another thing we may want to do is create a class for arguments. And there are two ways to do this. For instance, you might decide to just say the argument for product name, you just put here to be graphene.string, and then for all the fields actually you want. So let me show you real fast. We basically know that the fields we have are name, description, category, ID, quality, and price, and that is fine. So you can decide to do this and then just create mutations like this mutation. So it's I'll keep I hope you know that it's muted, and then you know that it just except class, and then I think I did something wrong over here. Should I say it's a class method, so that here could be CLS. And then another thing you could now say is you need that first, and then info, which is the request parameter in short. And then you start giving these arguments like name, description, category, ID, and whatever, like just this way, you don't see, and continue that way till you give all these arguments. But I normally prefer another way, and I will show you that first. So I normally create a form, something like a form, which is just input object type in graphene. So first thing I'll say class product attribute. So I'll say product attribute to just be a class extending from nothing, then just give the fields that I want over here. So and then I think you see I just took the fields over here and put them over here, and then now we need to create a class for graphene input object type. So I'll just say class and then just say create product. So this basically extend from graphene input object type. So I'll just say graphene.input object type. And then the second one is our fields, like our product attributes, like the fields for the thing you're trying to create, like what are the arguments. So in short, it's that way. And then you just, because we are not adding any other thing, then we'll just pass over here. And then over here, you just need to come and define something like inputs to be, you can just give any name, but know that this is what you will be asked. You could even decide to call Dera or anything, but know that that is what you will be asked. And then you could just say, is this field required? Then we know that those fields must be provided, so I'll say required to be true. And then over here now is what I will expect. So this one will always create a dictionary out of our fields. So that is why I normally love it. So because it creates a dictionary, and so whenever I'll be creating product, then I don't have to pass the fields I defined over here and then just come and pass them over here. So this will create a dictionary for the fields we want. And if you want to, for instance, to add user, because we know that we'll be using owner, so you can just say over here, because we know that this is a mutation that needs user to be authenticated, then you just say mutation header JSON web token required, just this way, and make sure you import it from flask-jwt out that way. So over here now we need to get our user, and we know that our user is from get JSON web token identity, which in this case is, we can say just user is this get JSON web token identity, and it will get user following the header it was passed. So another thing over here, now we know that our user will be coming with category ID and whatever, but it doesn't have the owner ID. And since we know that we serialized our user using the ID, then we know that this, whenever it will be decoded, will be the ID of the user. So you can just come and say that this is just the user. So instead of doing this and putting them into lines, then I normally prefer just doing this. So I hope that doesn't confuse anybody. So this is really simple. So just import this from flask out again. I think we already saw that in some video behind. So this will get user and update it to the input data types. So and then just try creating the product, and we know that if you see over here, the product name has to be unique. So that means that at some point an error might occur if product already exists. So that's why I'm putting this inside try catch statement, and then I'll just say product is now product. Where am I typing? So it's now just product, and then just pass in the data. I think you know that this will strip out the dictionary into single fields with equal sign. I think you already know that, but if you don't know that, no, this will like get the key and the value. So that's why over here you must make sure that these fields are the fields that your product has over here. So make sure that they are the fields that are over here. Why am I getting this? Okay, I think it's because I'm just accept and then just integrity error. Accept integrity error as E, and then make sure you just I cannot seem to get this spelling right. Then just import this name from SQL Alchemy, so as E, and then you just might want to return an error that is relevant to the user over here. So like create product and then just say the error in this case is just that, and then you say success to be false, because after all product was not created. And then now you need to update DB with the product just created. So we know that this just created the object, but we haven't added it to DB. So import this from config and that, and then commit. And then you might now want to return successful and the product that was just created. So you just do this and then say success to be true. I'm saying, okay, that is real. Okay, now we've seen the mutation for creating product, and I guess it's really easy. So we just need to go and add this create product into our mutation, but I think we can just do it over here. So just say class mutation is just simple. It's graphing.object type, and then let us just call it create product and just pass in over here. So this will create a mutation for creating product, but we know we haven't linked it with our main schema. So bring it over here, just duplicate this mutation, and now we know that instead of being from out, it's from product mutation. And then just clean this and run. Okay, what am I doing? This is supposed to be over here. Just make sure that everything is fine, and let us go and check out. So refresh the server again, and inside our mutations we should see for create product, and you see it expect us to pass input. That's why I was telling you, you can name it anything, because whenever we'll be creating product, then we will be passing this. But right now we know we cannot create our product over here because we need to pass our authentication. So we'll just say I'll just create a query for creating product, and then the input is something like that, and then you now just pass an object. And our product, we know it expects name, which is something like hello product one. I don't know if there is something anybody who does that. So let's say that after creating the product, it will just return product and success or error. Then just for product, we expect it to have ID. Then over here we expect the quantity, which let's say is just 20 pieces. Then we again have what? We have description, which you can just add to be anything you want. Is there anything else we need to pass? Or category ID. So category ID, I think you see, you have to make sure that you camel case even though you used underscore over there. And then category ID, we will say category 1, though we know that we don't have any category as of now. So and then just run, and in that case it would create, but you see it's giving us an error from flask out because we are not authenticated. So take this query, and I'll use postman. So create open postman very fast. So just let us duplicate this, duplicate tab, because it's the what we used to test in the previous video. So just don't save. And then over in the body, instead of getting me, let us replace with our query over here. And then we know that we need to set out our authorization with the most recent token. So over here, I think I have one that was for login. Yeah, this one. So I try logging in. I don't know if this user still exists. Yeah, glad it exists. So just take the token over here and bring it here. Replace everything and go to the body and try creating mutation, mutate, missing one, required position argument, name. Okay guys, I think the name I was showing you over here I forgot to remove, so that is why I was getting that. So just make sure that you don't have that as I did, and go back over here, and you see it created our product and returned successful and the ID of the product, just as I did over here. So I guess that is it for the mutation part. So in the next video I will show you how to make queries the right way, just to do some pagination and such. So because I think as of now we're almost through with this, not unless I just decide to do something, but I hope this has been helpful. So please don't forget to subscribe and like this video, because I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers real soon. So I will appreciate your support. Goodbye.